Inner work is primarily the art of learning this symbolic language of the unconscious. Many communicative efforts by the unconscious are lost on us. The unconscious bubbles to the surface in dreams, but few people have the information necessary to take their dreams seriously and understand their language. The activity of the unconscious is also evident in the running of the imagination, the burst of fantasy that float like bubbles across the landscape of the conscious mind, barely noticed by us. The veritable floods of fantasy that seize many people regularly and run like rivers along the edges of their minds. We think we are thinking, but more often we are in a daydream, lost for a few minutes in the stream of fantasy before we pull ourselves back to the physical situation, the work at hand, the persons with whom we are speaking. To get a true sense of who we are, become more complete and integrated human beings, we must go to the unconscious and set up communication with it. Much of ourselves and many determinants of our character are contained in the unconscious. It is only by approaching it that we have a chance to become conscious, complete, whole human beings. Most people, however, do not approach the unconscious voluntarily. They only become aware of the unconscious when we experience inexplicable conflicts that we cannot resolve, when we become aware of the urges in ourselves that seem irrational, primitive, or destructive, when a neurosis afflicts us because our conscious attitudes are at odds with our instinctual selves. Then we begin to realize that the unconscious is playing a role in our lives and we need to face it. Historically, it was through this kind of pathology that Jung and Freud rediscovered the existence of the unconscious through the psychological suffering of patients in whom the relationship between the conscious and unconscious levels had broken down.